Good morning, good afternoon from Chicago. Everton play today against West Ham United at Soldier Field. Looking forward to watching the Blues in action. Completed the signing of Asner yesterday.
Yes.
We then went to a press conference with the manager.
Yes.
Who didn't seem too happy, but folded arms. He wasn't seething and banging his fist on the table, but he didn't seem delighted with how stuff were going. What did you make of it? Because he is quite straightforward, David Moyes.
He is, yeah.
So what did you make of it?
And he was quite patient with some of the questions he was getting, which were, local American journalists who are interested in, do you like the country type of questions. But, and we talked about it afterwards, didn't we? He says something and then he realises he might have to do a little bit of balancing on that. But he doesn't back off either, does he? You know what I mean? And clearly he expected we would have more players by now.
Yeah.
The sound bites, and I don't know if people have watched the press conference, but we put it out because, Ped recorded it all. We know what we want.
Yeah.
And some departments were stalling in some departments, and that was the soundbite I picked up. Others have picked up the other things he said, but they're fundamentally poking fingers at ourselves about how the process isn't quite getting the outcomes yet that we want.
It seems it's frustrating. Obviously, it's highlighted for us because it's our club. But I've seen comments from Oliver Glasner today, the Crystal Palace manager, who said, "We haven't made the most of this transfer window so far. I was promised that we would be more active and bring in new players earlier this year."
Well,
he's not happy with Crystal Palace.
That's even more pointed than what David's saying.
I just wonder, and I'll be honest, I don't really care about Crystal Palace, whether they can get players in. But I do wonder how much of it is the market, how much of it is, I don't know whether Crystal Palace is shopping in our pond, fishing in our pond. I have no idea. But I do wonder if there's a certain level of players who are just sitting off at the moment and waiting to see, or is it clubs who simply are just saying, we know what sort of market you're in, we know seemingly what you want, but we've also got our value of our player, and if you don't meet it, and therefore it negates almost the opportunity to play hardball, if you like. What do you think?
Yeah, well, listen, any negotiation, there's two sides to it, isn't there? Right? And again, we've talked about this. The more we say we need 10 players, the more we add to the negotiating power of the people we're trying to buy from. Okay, so that's the first thing, right? Yeah. The second thing, of course, is I think there is some market issue, challenge around stuff. We've got the Wales spending money like it's going out of fashion. Liverpool burning through money. City did all theirs very early. Chelsea and so on. And I also think because of things like PSR, and as it will change to the squad ratio type stuff in the Premier League, but that's now established at UEFA level, that maybe, just maybe, there's an expectation on individual players of how much money they want for the rated experience and which kind of clubs they want to buy for them, to go to, right? Now, for us, being in transition, our challenge is, it used to be, I want to play in the Champions League. Then it becomes, I want to play in Europe, right? So, how many have we got playing in Europe? 9? EPL? Is it 9? 8? What? That's a big number.
9 this season, the clubs,
So, logically, the top half of the Premier League are all playing in Europe. So, there's 9 clubs who a player who wants to play in Europe will go to, allegedly, before they come to us. So that makes it hard as well.
Do you believe that, though? There is clearly, but
all of that,
exclude the Champions League clubs. I fully get it. 100%.
And that's more than half of them.
I'd be really surprised if a player went to a club because they were in the Conference League over going to Everton.
Me too.
Now, keep this, because I'll flip this next season when we're in the Conference League and say, everyone will want to come to Everton because we're in Europe. Don't get me wrong, I don't mean it isn't an important factor, because that kicks in everything else for them, helps the profile and all that. But when you look at, I just look at teams like Chelsea, who played in that and won it last year, and basically their C team played in that. Do you know what I mean? So, and I know they're not, everyone isn't like Chelsea, of course, don't know. But you do see like teams in the Conference League. Villa the year before, but was it the year before? Was the year before, wasn't it? Villa were, you know, playing.
But
players.
We've chatted, haven't we, that the EPL representative in the Conference League should win it.
100%.
You know,
certainly get to the last.
You said UEFA have done a club a favour by sticking them in it because they might win it.
They've done Palace a massive
favour
because
they might win it.
Palace might get another. My view,
they get 2 years in Europe.
Won't get in Europe next season
unless they win it.
But they could easily win the Conference
and then
League.
They go in the Europa League.
In Europe the year after. Yeah. So they might have come out a bit better.
I mean, that's not just the dynamic, clearly, right? And so as you go down the end-to-end process, and I think David exposed over a couple of his press conferences which parts of the process he thinks have been done. And we talked about it, didn't we? If you've done identification, selection and all that sort of stuff, and now you've got your list, David might go, my work here is done. We know what we want. I've told you what I need. You said there's... And he backed off yesterday about money, but I think he really means that we don't have huge money issues. We haven't got huge buckets of money, right? So now we're in the phase where the manager's not involved, really.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
it's the negotiator, whether it's Hammond on his own, probably him and Kinnear, speaking to the ownership group about how much cash have we got and so on. We look at Roma and we think, the Friedkin group are thinking, shall we send money there or to Everton? Well, hopefully both. But they seem to be very supportive of the businesses that they own. So if we follow a simple logic, and we did we do this before we came out? But if we didn't, but we did do it, we've done it here instead, then we go, well, we're following an end-to-end process. It's now in closure, which is the hardest bit. And the manager, who's done his bit, is a bit frustrated that the closure bit hasn't happened. And what we're trying to explore now is that Hammond's fault? Is it Kinnear's fault? Is it the club's fault? Is it none of their fault because the market is what it is? And I would just say, historically, looking back about what happens in this market at these times, trying to get players in before August has even happened is a hard ask.
Yeah,
that's what I think. It's a hard ask.
No, but it's difficult because the volume of players that we need. Again, said it loads. If we had a complete starting 11 where he was happy with everywhere, it's a different conversation. But he did allude to that yesterday. That
injuries. He mentioned injuries.
He's made it, and obviously to be more difficult. Certainly this because of injuries and stuff. But he did then say we're going into. You know, the window started and it's moving very quickly, and soon we're going to move into the next phase of it, which is, he didn't say the words, but they were there, which will become desperation of trying to get in, trying to get the people.
He said it indirectly because he said we'll run out of time, and because as soon as you start playing games, and again, if you're doing a sunny day plan, you want it all done if you can before the game starts, because you play a game, you have a rest day, you train, you have another game, and so on, right? And all of a sudden you think, oh my goodness, it's the last few days of August, right? But every other club's got that challenge as well. Yeah. And you do get the domino effect of, you know, someone has to wait for something to happen. Again, he alluded last night, which was really good for an Everton audience, of we don't have to sell anyone. Yeah. So it's not, we haven't got bucket loads of money, because he's seen what Liverpool has spent.
No, of course.
We haven't got bucket loads of money, but we don't have to sell anyone, so it's not like we're waiting on a transaction to happen.
Yeah, that's what he said, yeah.
And if you join the dots, he just, I think, is saying, we just need to be a bit bolder here, guys.
Yeah, that's how it felt.
You know, make them an offer they can't refuse.
It does feel like what he was saying, which is what I think what most people know anyway, is that Everton do have a pot of money, and they have, compared to other seasons, quite a substantial amount of money to go and be able to do these deals. Whereas in the past, we've been trying to do the odd deal, we've had to wait for things to drop. And that isn't the case right now. But we're faced with the challenge of we need the amount of people. We do. And his level of player that he wants. Because there was a question, wasn't it, that he just asked why was it difficult? And are you surprised more hasn't happened? And he sort of alluded a little bit disappointedly that maybe 1 or 2 players he thought, but he could get easily.
Have
said no to him,
or
it's
not
stalled.
yet.
Well, that's what he said, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think he was sort of saying he thought the process would be concluded, and it hasn't, because maybe those players are waiting and seeing. Because he said Everton, I did, yeah, because Everton's a massive club, and it's got the history and blah, 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 blah.
New stadium.
But then he did sort of say, but I guess when you step back, you see a team, a club that has been down the lower
5 years, he said. Yeah.
Which isn't strict. Well, I suppose it is.
No,
I mean,
you're right to say it's not strictly true.
But then
but the perception
he
is...
He said relegation, then he said, well, the lower part of the Premier League. And when he corrected it, he's correct, isn't he?
But again, we may be getting some insight there on what's going on behind the scenes about what perhaps players and agents are saying, which is, but you're a team down there.
And that could,
now, perception and reality are not the same thing, right? And so that makes the sell, if that's right, harder again, right? And it's difficult for a manager or anybody to effectively get totally under the skin of someone they're trying to sell to if they don't know them, which is why managers often fall back on players they know, right?
Yeah.
You know, and so maybe he's, you know, the committee said no to certain players which he knew would have been over the line by now. You know, the ones he wanted per se, or whatever. But the reality is we need what's best for the club. And what's best for the club is to take this pressure off later in the window by being bold now. Yeah,
I mean,
because if you make someone what you think is enough, they can't refuse, and they say no, you go, oh, you know what, you're not for us anyway now.
Yeah, of course, because there has got to be that. There has got to be the thing, if I want to play for Everton and I want to come in and make the difference. It doesn't matter if it's I'm not saying players should be falling over themselves to come.
No, they shouldn't.
But Everton are still a big club. If they're not a big team, they're a big club. The stadium, the new owners. Just look at the second half of the season, top 4 or 5 form, whatever it was.
60 points.
And therefore,
and that's part of the sell, isn't it?
You look and you go, no, we're sort of going that way.
Yeah, since I've got
You're now gonna, you know, and it might be that we have to try and do one of those deals and get it over the line by saying, if the fella, whoever it may be, the lad's a little bit unsure, how do we sweeten it? And you're right, give him test the water.
Doesn't it?
If the sweetener's 10 grand a week more, try it. If he still doesn't budge, then you go, well, you know what, we're getting into that zone of uncomfortability here where we're not really sure you're worth this. We're going to move.
No, absolutely. Spot on, mate. And the sweetener doesn't have to be bribes, i.e. more money. No. It can be, how do you get out of this contract if it's not working for you? Do we put a release clause in that you're comfortable with? Can we effectively sell to you that in that stadium with this manager, you're going to be on telly a lot, people will see what you look like,
exactly.
and so on. And therefore, we accept, which is a hard thing to say this bit, innit? We accept you may just be using us as a stepping stone, right? Yeah. But we're in a phase of development, and we will bring players in who aren't going to be here very long, hopefully, because they really blow up when they're with us and we get a big bucket load of money for them, profit-wise. But then we do it again, don't we? We've been harping on about that for forever.
Well, it's the only,
that cycle of
it's the only way to bridge
investment and development, and
the only way to bridge it, isn't it? It's the only Liverpool bridged it that way, and they've been and they're one of the most, you know, biggest clubs in the world, aren't they? And they had to bridge it by getting good players, good manager, then good players, and then things fell into place, and they got really good players, and they won trophies, and money come, and then everything else just explodes, and all of a sudden the catapults are back into the very, very top where well, they are, aren't
they're up there,
and you know, we've seen it. This is where sort of Newcastle have hit the wall, you know, and things like that, and Villa have hit the wall. They've done well, got the players, bang, we're in with the big time, and then haven't known how to take it on.
Absolutely.
And that's what we've got to go on that journey. We'll worry about the glass ceiling when we get there, but we've got to go on that journey, and that only happens with good players. And where I guess the difference is, for say, let's just use Newcastle as an example, because of new owners, crest of a wave. I mean, Everton have almost mirrored Newcastle since their takeover. As in, when Newcastle were taking over, they were bottom of the league.
True.
Piff came in.
Turned around.
They finished the season so strongly. Then they qualified for the Champions League. But what they did was they finished the season so strongly and were able to get Alexander Isaac in.
Yes.
And a few others. Don't get me wrong, they brought in like Bruno Guimaraes, who was brilliant for them in the middle.
And
but
the manager turned players they were already there into better players.
Moyes can do that. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying
and that's the analogy.
Yeah, I'm not going to say what we're going to do what Newcastle did, because we haven't got Alexander Isaac and others. But what I mean is, they turned a situation that looked terrible round, got the crest of a wave, and then bought, and that's where Everton are at now. So who's the catalyst going to be for Everton? There isn't another Alexander Isak, because others would have bought him.
True.
So therefore, who's going to be our catalyst? We've got good players. I think when everyone's fit, I think we've got good players. I think we've got an excellent manager. We've got an incredible fan base. Everything's there. The stadium's immense. But again, I always harp back and boring people to, when you set all that out in front of you, the right-hand side's on fire. And that's why my question was about the...
20 minutes to get to that.
That's all it took. That was why my question to him was about the priority list. I wanted to know, quite clearly, there's a priority there for the right.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know if he was the same, or was he spinning plates and all that. It was quite clear that they've got the priorities.
They know what the priorities are.
Quite clear, the priorities ain't getting done.
That's right.
Which is what's irking him.
And I took his answer to your question to mean that. He didn't say. He could have said, you know what? What's really frustrating me is I thought we'd get our priority jobs done, because that's what he actually said. We've got numbers. I can cope with. That takes time. But the priorities, we should have them already. And now that's because those players have said, well, it's not yes, but it's not no.
But
that then becomes a management decision, doesn't it, about whether to move on or not, or wait.
Of course,
Sorry, go on, you were going to say.
No, I was just going to say, a court, whether you... Listen, we don't know. We don't speak to Everton in terms of on a level where they'd say, well, what he's actually said, the player. We don't speak to the player. We only can read about what's out. And what's out there is, Fofana's not said no, but quite clearly he's not said yeah. Indeed. Because he's looking, as you do.
I'm waiting.
And waiting, seeing what's what. Now, if there's others doing the same of a level of player, on some level, that's okay then. If we're saying, this is the level of player I want, I can get these. And down here, let's go here to be respectful to players. But maybe that's Tom Fellows.
Yes.
Here, where he thinks I can get him at the moment because he's not gone anywhere.
Yeah.
So we can
he's waiting on us rather than the other way around type of thing. Yeah.
This is the level above that we're trying to get.
True.
And maybe we have to be. I don't want to be patient, but maybe we do have to be patient. I don't know.
I said before, like closing deals, because that's fundamentally what these are. That's the hard bit. And what's key in that is knowing when it's time to walk away. Otherwise, you've done what we've done in the past. We've waited, and then it didn't happen.
It's gone, yeah.
And that's where David, I think, is trying to avoid. I don't want that mad rush over the last few days. Almost, and again, he didn't use the words, but always where I'm now in that I need numbers. And I'm almost saying yes to players I would have said no to before. And then we have to live with those challenges down the line. All the pressure around that is taken off by doing stuff earlier. And they can, if Hammond's getting grief from people who don't know, because none of us know, that he's playing too hardball, or he's doing this, or doing that, but he's working to a brief, right? But if he's trying to say, well, that player to us is not worth more than that amount of money, and then down the track we played too much for a player in a rush, which would have been what we could have just give this to get over the line, and so you find your tipping point, and you give them it's your baffo, innit? You give them your very best offer, and if he still doesn't say yeah, you say, well, give us a shout, lad, when you're interested, but we're moving on.
You're going,
you know.
The boat last night.
Yeah.
Chicago's lovely, absolutely lovely.
It is, yeah.
We done an architecture tour yesterday. It was lovely. We had a walk around. It's lovely.
I was on the beach yesterday.
It was lovely.
Yeah.
And we went on the Everton cruise last night, which was nice.
Spirit of Chicago.
Spirit of Chicago. It was nice round the bay a little bit. Everyone, Evertonians seemed to be
500, 491, I think. Yeah.
Quite chilled and happy on the boat,
yeah.
Didn't they? People looking forward to the game today.
Just reminded everyone what a proper blue he is and what a great bloke he is.
Yeah.
Dan Meese got his trophy, you know.
What was the trophy for?
For Pete, I don't know.
Best architect.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
No, he was carrying the trophy down.
Yeah, he was.
But I didn't
when
actually,
he was looking for a Zuba, yeah.
I didn't actually hear what it was for, though. That was the thing. People seem to be having a good time here, and obviously the stuff is now down to the football. So
it is.
today.
Yeah.
So what are we looking for today? Because obviously we were at the MetLife the other day, and again I thought first half we played quite well.
Yeah.
The final ball sort of let us down. At the club, the team went off to Atlanta, where it's really warm, and I've stepped it up. But again, today's going to be dictated by numbers, isn't it?
Totally.
You know, so what?
I mean,
what are we looking for today?
If you wanted to simplify it,
yeah.
The first game, when our lack of numbers became really relevant, yeah. That's when they stepped up. They looked like they stepped up. Maybe we slowed down.
Yeah.
And of course,
probably a bit of both, yeah.
And what we know, what comes with fatigue is mistakes.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And we gifted them goals, right? So we need to improve on both those things.
Yeah,
so we need to go deeper into the game, right? From a fitness perspective. Clearly, yesterday, I don't think he's too distressed per se about having lost the game, because I think he thinks it was down to our own errors that wouldn't happen if my first choices were there, almost. Yeah.
Although one of his first choices give the goal away.
I mean,
and
first choice
listed himself yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, first choice in that position, right? Yeah. And David covered that last time with he's only played at right back for me. I've now seen him as a left back. So deeper into the game, I think, is important, and just a general all-round improvement on, filling the 90 minutes, and he'll go, okay, and then we'll go again, whenever it is at United.
Sunday, yeah. Well, hopefully we'll see a little bit more of Tieno Barry.
Yes, indeed.
He had a good cameo the weekend, half an hour. He looked quite good. We know that Adam Asnew's probably won't be involved today, but United, I think, Man United, I think we'll see him regardless.
Talks, I think.
Tarky, well, I asked him, didn't I, the other day about that, and he sort of hinted he may
get some minutes today.
So again, that might be a last 25 minutes, half an hour
ease
thing.
Him in.
Just to get some minutes.
And hopefully Jared's doing okay back at home.
And we don't know what's happening with Seamus. Obviously, Seamus was there last night. He wasn't involved at the weekend, so I don't know. We might need our coats tonight. The weather forecast isn't good today. Thunderstorms.
Coats?
Well, any
don't bring coats.
Okay, you're going to get maybe a change of t-shirt then, John. It's going to
rain, isn't it?
It's going to have thunderstorms now for the duration there.
Sure.
And then Atlanta's the same.
Yeah.
Stormy, so we'll see. Paul Sinclair says, come on Blues tonight. Hopefully they can help end my 37th birthday on a high. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, indeed.
Let's hope they can, Paul. Danny says, no point worrying. There's nothing we can do. Okay.
Wise man.
Okay. Steve P says, it's really worried me, I'm not going to lie. When you actually look at what we need, we should have had at least 2 more first choice players in by now. The midfield to me is also looking like a worry now. We don't have a genuine holding midfielder in the entire squad. And we also don't have anyone who can put the foot on the ball. The thing with the midfield, I get it. I want one as well. But the thing with the midfield is, he's got the same midfield as he had last season, bar Decore. And lots of people
didn't rate him.
Weren't bothered with that Decore was going. So, and we lost 4 games in 19. So, I think James Garner can do a job in there. Irabunum can do a job in there. I get it. We definitely need another one in there. Absolutely, we do. Who can put his foot on it and dictate the play a little bit. But who knows? Who knows when they'll become available? Nathan says, hello guys, hope you're enjoying your trip. I'm interested in knowing who Moyes is targeting being injected by. That was interesting. Fofana would be great if it's possible still. Brownhill is a free agent. Is he worth a point? A punt even?
No.
He's not who I would be targeting. But he is free, and he's played in the Premier League and all that.
You're still saying no with your face, though, Bash.
Because if we're trying to the problem is, right, a year ago...
Move the dial.
You'd go, get him in, just pad the squad. And maybe that's what Everton will end up doing
Sure.
with a couple of these players. Maybe there will be a couple of padders
Yeah.
just to have on the bench and stuff. He's a tidy footballer. He got 18 goals, I think, last season in the Championship. He's a midfield player.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but to me, Everton should be looking at the level. If they really want to improve as a team, look at the other clubs, what they've got. Gary says, I didn't go in thinking it was going to be easy, so I'm not too worried. It's a good way to look at it.
Spoken yet on the end of that sentence.
JL says, morning lads, I'm not worried by Moyes' comments as such. He's just being honest about the current situation. He also said he hopes that it'll all come together. Well, I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. I'm still confident we'll be okay come the end of the window and that we'll be a better side than we were last year. It's just a bit disappointing we haven't been able to do more business sooner so that we're not playing this summer series in the States so undercooked. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? You come out to a tournament like this, it's high profile for a pre-season tournament. And you don't...
Playing out in public.
You don't do yourself justice because of it. You know, if Everton had the squad they've got, everyone was fit, Branthwaite was here and O'Brien and all that, then quite clearly the games would be tight because we'd have our team, wouldn't we? And then you still could end up losing all 3 games, but it'd be tight and you'd see a lot. It's just because it's playing out in public.
And every few days he does another press conference.
Yeah.
Pre and post match.
Yeah, which is fine. Yeah. There's no issue with that, but injuries, you know, for all we know, Michael Keane will be fit today. Toffee will be on the bench. Yeah. All of a sudden, that makes the team look stronger immediately. With that, we've at least got players in the right position. The manager can go back to a flat back four, which is what he likes. Yeah. And the solidity will come through the team. But what can you do? You're trying to get ready for the 18th of August, aren't you? So therefore, on the 30th of July, as long as you know by the 18th of August everyone who you need is going to be fit, then the 30th of July is irrelevant, really, isn't it? Yeah. Blue Keely says, comments didn't worry me too much. It's going to be tough for us to get quality we want. The reputation of our club has been tarnished in the last few years. For a while, we might have to be the team that players come to before. Oh, yeah, listen, I've got no issue with being a journey club, as they now call it, don't they? Rather than a destination club. I've got no problem with that, because that shows you're buying at least the right quality of player. Trying to convince them to stay is on you. It's on you to put enough of them in a team that takes the team somewhere else, isn't it? That's what it's about. Paul
the environment changes as a product of you getting those players in the first place.
Of course, yeah. You've just got to get them to come through the door, haven't you? Paul T says, starting to worry about the lack of activity, especially with what was said at the press conference. Terry McKenna says, no, it's just a reality check. I'm hopeful that we'll get a right winger soon. But it's a problem getting the players in. That's the club's problem, not the manager's. Yeah. Paul Williams says, not worried yet. Lots of changes at Everton, so things will take time to get right. All signings so far have been good and thought out. We need as fans to stop going for the panic button all the time. Things are changing for the better, blue skies ahead.
Good one.
It's a good way, isn't it, to put it? Stephen says, not worried. Sounds like we're targeting actual good players rather than just any players to fill the squad. It could be blind faith, but I'm hopeful by the time the window shuts, we'll be in a stronger position. I'm sure we will be.
Ditto.
Sure we will be. Mark Mack says, maybe years of reputational damage done by previous managers and owners has left us in this place. The Brownhills and Harrison of the world might be what we have to settle for until we can prove ourselves a top team again. Hopefully this is not true and we can get the likes of Jack. But at the moment, I imagine the bench will be pretty bare come Leeds.
I don't think it will.
Well, it depends, doesn't it? Depends how you look at and what's bare, isn't it? Worried as fuck. Not exactly putting ourselves out there in this summer series, are we? We're not as attractive prospect for quality players. No one cares about a new shiny stadium except us. I'm not sure that's strictly true. I think it's all part of something. That can't be the reason why players come to you just because you've got a new ground. It's still grass and it's a team. But if it's part of a story of progress,
totally right.
Then that it can be. It's an important thing. If you're evidencing to people, new owners, money, new stadium, whatever, that feels a lot better than we play at Goodison, nowhere to go really, we're staying there. It's a harder sell, but... Ryan says he'd be more worried if he said those comments after the window closed. Think we, including myself, have to recognise it's going to be a few windows in the building. Yeah, it will be. Brian says, yes, definitely worried by his comments, more by the fact every news outlet has put it as a headline, which won't help in attracting players. I mean, how many headlines do players read?
Agents do.
Agents might, but then the agents are the ones in the room, though. So if you go, well, the agent says, well, manager's not happy, and you go, well, yeah, but he's not happy because you've got your client.
Yeah.
It's got to be a juggling act, hasn't it?
Absolutely. If you want honesty, then you're going to get honesty, aren't you?
Yeah,
right. And part of his honesty is where we've been, and it doesn't matter if you correct them, right? We've been down the bottom for 5 years. But now we're going a different way. Now, it's how you say that, isn't it? Yeah. Dictates what people hear. Do they hear we've been in relegation battles, so I understand why people don't want to come here? Or do you emphasise the other side of it? And I think some of the structuring around what he says is interesting. And clearly he's talking to an audience which isn't the fan base, right? And those journalists in the room have come to a pretty... anemic tournament, which might be the last one it ever happens.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
apparently so, yeah.
And he's given them some really good sound bites to play with, and they're paid to produce words. It's all the print journalist types who are saying those things.
Let's remember, the man is a master at this, an absolute master.
He's nudging.
At putting, and what's he done? What's he doing? He's putting Hammond and Angus Kinnear.
And then behind them, the ownership group.
And then Dan Friedkin as the chairman of the board. He's putting the pressure on them.
Yeah.
He's going. Yeah, I'm surprised. We as a club haven't got these players. I mean, it's a big indictment on the people doing the negotiating. If he's happy enough with what he's identified and all of that.
If it's in close phase, then yeah, it's on the closer.
It's there, isn't it? So, you've got to... David Moyes isn't naive. That's the one thing he isn't. He's always been really good with the press. He gives great sound bites.
That's what I was
saying. He knows what he's doing, and you just go, okay. And he's quite honest. He is quite honest. So,
I would say though, if as we're watching this, and people comment, right?
Yeah.
And if you're not careful, they'll take positions, won't they? The manager's right or the manager's wrong, and all those sorts of things. David Moyes' planning horizon is far shorter than that of Angus Kinnear.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And the Friedkin group.
Of course, yeah.
Okay? And we've sat here, us doing this, and our audience do it in the pub or wherever they do it, about, the short-term, knee-jerky behaviours of previous structures, where we end up with a player who's not very good for another 3, 4, 5 years at stupid money, we get point deductions as a consequence, blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah-de-blah. If you try and have a plan, and stick to the plan, and the manager gets frustrated, which he should do, and he's allowed to if you want to, if I use those words.
Yeah.
But you do your frustration, and then you move on. If we keep getting press conferences about the guy who's in front of people blaming the guys back at the ranch, then that's not the right way to do it.
No, but he hasn't.
But he should nudge and create that natural tension we keep talking about.
Yeah, I'd rather...
Because we don't know why. We know what, but we don't know why.
Yeah, I'd rather hear the manager saying stuff like that, personally.
I'm not saying he shouldn't say it. Yeah. I'm just saying
but
that there's a line where you go up to.
Well, he's getting questioned, isn't he? So
yeah.
we either have him saying, I'm not commenting about that, and then everyone moans about it, or you haven't answered.
No, it's...
Evan Viking says, I'm concerned as I have been this season, since the season ended, and his comments only confirm that for me. But I think we're well behind where we need to be. I think it's probably a mix of Moyes being extremely hard to please, but also this new Everton team trying to act tough and not be pushovers. I also think if we're mainly targeting players over 25 with Premier League experience, we're shopping in a tiny market. Moyes may have to relent on that. Steve Carlisle says not worried, as I'm sure it'll be sorted. Like you said, Baz, a fellow signing or a Hayden signing for the USA tour would have calmed a lot of people down. Then allow Moyes to say We're after more. We just don't want to be chucking away again in August. Also, we may have to bite the bullets regarding terms and price. A couple more optimistic signings. Yeah, all is correct. Everton Vikings, I said it to John earlier too, I don't think Moyes can let those little negatives start slipping back in. He's been extremely positive since he came into us, but referring to relegation fights when we've been close to Europe, than relegation in the last 2 seasons, yeah, to be fair, that is correct as well.
That is true.
He should continue on with pushing for Europe as he had been making. Arwell says, quite worried the team needs more quality and strength and depth, less than 3 weeks till the season starts.
Crikey.
The longer it goes on, the more desperate we become. Clubs can put their prices up. Mendoza, the Maple Leaf Toffee, although disconcerting, I appreciate the honest and frank approach from Moyes. It shows his class and the respect he has for us as fans. I'm under no illusions that players these days won't see our club the same way we do. My opinion is that if the big targets are not interested in us or using us as a fail-safe, then why not revert to what you excel at? Moyes bought Cahill from Millwall, Fellaini from Standard Liège, Jackson Lescott from relegated club, Bowen from Hull. I have no objection if he changes tact and uses this approach. Because those players now cost what these European players do, don't they? You look in the Championship now for a player. Tom Fellows hasn't got ages left on his deal. I think that's why he seems to be good decent value. But a lot of them at 20 and 25 million, never played in the Premier. You're like, well, I can get a player out of France for the same price. Rich says there is a world for there's a world full of players, as we say in the show. We have to think outside the box, keep our cards close to our chest and strike when we need to. For what we know, Moyes may be playing it all down, ready to explode into action. If the rumours dry up, we'll assume whoever West Ham are after we are too. Loving the vlogs, lad. Top content as always. Have a great time. Cheers, Rich. Everton Vikings says, the only other question I'd ask you guys is, do you think there is starting to be a little difficult forming with us versus them between Moyes and the recruitment team? I definitely feel like some of his comments infer that, and it puts pressure on them now. No, because I think they're all part of it. The manager will be frustrated. We're frustrated as fans, so imagine if you're the manager and you identify someone and go, yeah, we're happy with that, with the recruitment team, and then you pass it on and it doesn't get done. You're going to be frustrated because you're going, we knew this, we wanted this fella the other week. Why is he not here? We're playing games. I'm getting asked questions. I'm the one fronting it. Nick Hammond doesn't sit in front of the press, does he? And explain why he hasn't got deals over the line. No. Good or for whatever reason, he might be like, how could I do this deal? He kept putting it. But he doesn't have to answer that, does he?
No.
But David Moyes does, so he's a football manager. Managers get frustrated when they don't get what they want, because we all want all the tools available to us because it gives us a better chance. So I don't see it. I'm okay with it, even if he is having a little pop at them. Do your job, as Roy Keane said.
Yeah. We're stalling in some departments.
There you go, yeah. He's not come out and slated it.
He hasn't
like I
pointed
said,
the finger, has he?
Oliver Glaston said more, you know, hasn't he?
Similar, very similar, yeah.
He said the same.
Yeah.
Martin Kitney says, the lack of squad fillers, that has me worried. Top player deals always take time. The fact we haven't got another 2 or 3 bodies in is highlighting the ability to do deals. Not a good look for the new board and transfer team. Jake says, press conference was slightly awkward from a real statement to the recruitment team to get the ball rolling, or Moyes will be kicking off, and rightly so. Neil says, we're facing into the stark reality of modern football. Players have a say. I'm not panicking at all. We might go into next season light, but we don't have Europe to contend with. Mike Raff says, the third kit looks nice. Blue Keely have no idea if Keane's fit. Bill, yeah, we need to start pivoting. We have to get players in. Steve says, we've been linked with Asana Diao. Again, we were first linked with him a year and a half ago. We could have had him for 10 mil. Now he'd probably cost 40. I don't see them letting him go, though, because it's not like they need the money. He'd be unreal. He was unplayable for them last season, 8 goals in 15 games. He's a machine. He's only 19. Yeah, but if they got 40 million off Everton, that's a big thing for them as well, and they're, you know, into their deal, isn't it? Into their club, coming in 40 million for a player who they would have only asked 10 million for. It's huge. Jay says, I fear we're in for a bang average season again. I don't think we're as safe as and secure as we think we are. I do. I think there's 0 chance we'll have a bad season, Jay.
The supercomputer's done its league table.
Yeah, there's no chance. Evan Viking says, refuse to accept, by the way, they're all 7 players that we need. Every single one of those top targets are not attainable. There must be a reason why you haven't got them in then.
Yeah, I don't think he has 7 top targets, does he?
No.
He has a couple, and they're the ones he's bloody annoyed haven't happened yet. So.
John says, players we want all have the opportunity of taking their time and seeing what their options are.
True.
If they are our number one choice, how long do we wait? Hence the seeming lack of activity at Latin. Patience is the key word. Correct. Jay says, people saying we're shopping for elite players. It wasn't so long everyone was saying, if you don't ask the question, you never know. Glad the club are chasing top players. We've got 4 players through the door before August. Any other window, we'd be saying they're getting the business done early. It's just the amount of players needed that makes it look desperate. Yeah, really good point. Really good point, Jay. Like I said, for me, it's 1 player.
That right-sided guy.
It's again. 1 player, that's it. If we'd have got what we've got and got 1 right-sided player, I'd be sat here going, we've got half of what he wants.
Yeah.
And it's not even August. Why are we... Let's just chill.
Yeah.
And if players were fit, that's my only concern.
So
it's literally, and again, they're fine margins, isn't it? Andrew says, I'm sure we could have got free transfers if we really wanted them. It's clear Moyes didn't fancy any of them, and that's fair enough. Correct. Kev says, this is feeling like a last-minute Neil Maupay type sign. I don't think we're quite there, are we?
No.
Josh says, I'm not worried in the slightest. Death certainly changes your outlook, particularly when it comes to footy. What will be, will be. Nathan says, state of Chris Beasley's questions gets on my nerves for some reason. They're so sterile. He's got to do bits that he can write pieces about, hasn't he? Kev Maloney says the players' salaries have to be the same over the life of a contract. Can you pay a player 90 grand a week for the first 3 years of a contract and 20 grand a week in the 4th year? So a player will be willing to negotiate an extension or transfer out. But what player would agree to that, though?
In negotiations,
I mean, can you do that, John?
Yeah, of course you can. In negotiations, you can do anything you like.
Yeah.
It's a negotiation. Yeah. But I can't imagine anybody, anywhere, would have a situation where they got paid more at the beginning than at the end. Yeah.
Rossi M says, hi, gents, new member, first time saying hello. Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Mate. Thoughts on Tyler Dibbling? Not seen enough of him. He's got loads of potential, but the money they seemingly want for him.
It's mad.
Don't get me wrong, he looks like he's going to be a top player, but 50, 60 million for...
Unproven.
Not for me.
Yeah.
If you've got a big pot of money, great. But...
If your risk-taking ability is up at their expectation,
I had about 3 mark, and the one I asked wasn't one I had prepared, because other people go before you ask the question. So
because there was a magic follow-up to your question, but you don't get it, do you?
You don't get it, no.
So.
Royal Blue Rich says, if our top targets want to come here, then I'm sure the deals will be done sooner. Otherwise, it's our job to persuade them, correct?
Spot on, yeah.
Rob says, Moyes has every reason to be frustrated with the recruitment team. Jay says, top players play in top stadiums every week. It's water off a duck's back. That's good then, isn't it? That we've got a top stadium. Playing in a top stadium, come and join us. Oh, it's full of obstructive views, wooden seats, and it only holds this amount. So, Steve says, I, for one, am very worried. This new team seems to be worse than Thelwell in getting players in. The delays we've already seen will hopefully not cost us in the first few games of the season. Is that right, though, Steve? I don't know if Kevin Thelwell ever had 4 players in before August. We have to be careful here that and I'm aware I'm saying it as well. We have to be careful here that the big number we need doesn't undermine what they've done so far.
4 players.
Charlie Freak says, surprised non-social name mentioned. Being linked with Rangers. Martin says, you think the recruitment team are making the right decision by aiming high because people would only moan if he brought 8 players in back. Well, imagine if we'd have got 8 players in now, all of a much lower level, just to say we've padded the squad out. Would people be happier? Maybe they would, I don't know.
And the manager's covered that as well, hasn't he? We need to be balanced.
Paul Davies says, could be worse, Baz, could be the Barcodes who got beat by a K-League 11. There you go. Neil says, hi guys, look like you're having a great time. Apparently Kinnear is back in Liverpool. Is he back in to speed up a few things? Who knows? Possibly.
That's where he works.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's where he works.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's a little bit of a sea change. He said he was here to spend every day with David to get deals done.
Yeah.
Then the next one he's gone home.
Yeah.
Everton Viking says we need 2 centre mids. It's as simple as that. Sure, they did okay, but that's just what it was. Yeah, I don't see them getting 2 centre midfield players.
No.
Wouldn't disagree if they did. I'm just saying I don't see it. Paul Robinson says, hope you're enjoying the trip. We visited Chicago a couple of years back, but struggled to get more than a couple of days sightseeing out before it was time to move on. Can recommend Lou Main Malnati's for deep dish pizza. Where the Coca-Cola in Stone Mountain Park in Atlanta to visit. Cheers, mate. Benjamin says, Branthwaite has flown over to the USA, by the way.
Oh.
Has he? Didn't know that one.
No.
Kev Maloney says, have you had deep dish pizza? No, we have not. Harrison says, speaking of Dan Meese, did anyone call him a liar or call him out?
No.
I don't think people are going to do that, are they?
No.
To be fair. So, yeah, listen, we go again later on. It's going to be interesting, that's for sure, because we need to see what players are available. And see how they do. I'd really like to see a bit more of Tierno Barry.
Yes.
I don't know whether the
Looked
manager...
lively, didn't he, when he come on?
But he did look lively. I don't know whether Chimity put himself about as well. I don't know whether the manager will... Because the other day he went with one up front, didn't he? But 3 at the back. And so I wonder if he'd just go with maybe a 4-4-2 today and try something different. He's not going to use it in the season. No. But we're playing West Ham in a pre-season friendly, which is essentially what it is. Or does he continue to try to do what he's doing and get the shape of the team right? It's an interesting one, isn't it? McNeil on the right doesn't work.
No.
Does he try and Jai on the right tonight and McNeil on the left? Or does he push Alcaraz wide?
The last one's more likely, isn't it?
I think, to be honest, it'll just be what he was the other day in terms of Jai be on the left and McNeil will be on the right. But Chris the Toffee says, will Asnu get on the pitch tonight? I doubt it. He flew over yesterday, didn't he? Everton had put that post out. I can't see a young lad arriving today and being in the squad. Sorry, arriving yesterday and being in our squad today. Because they don't know what his level of fitness is or anything.
Well, he said yesterday that we need to look at him up close. And there's no pressure on him. Yeah.
So, but I imagine he'll play on Sunday at some stage.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter, does it? Get him in. He's a body and he's a young lad, so he'll be able to run. And therefore... So I wonder if it's how he plans on using the game. Will it be more...
This game?
Yeah. Will he use more of the lads who didn't get a go at the weekend? Will he... A couple of the kids who were on the bench?
He'll want to give them minutes, won't he? Yeah.
I don't know.
I think so.
You see, you just don't know with Moyes, because he might be like, hang on, if I play 4 of these kids and we get beat 6-0,
then it won't go down.
Imagine what it's going to go like. You know, Jake O'Brien was asked the question, do results matter?
And he said yes.
And he said to players.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to build momentum. I mean, we were stood with Jordan Pickford after the game at the weekend, and he didn't look happy in the slightest.
He wasn't happy at all.
He didn't look happy in the slightest. The pre-season game, we got beat 3-0, conceded some really bad goals. he was fuming. For, you know, for a friendly defeat that really shouldn't make any difference. He was absolutely fuming. I mean, Ped, what are we looking? What are you looking for tonight with this? Because it is a friendly at the end of the day, but you know, I'm sure the manager's not going to want to get another Tonkin, is he?
Got to win, haven't we? Too laid back about this stuff, you know. It's shite. It's utter shite.
It's a free watershed, man.
No, Everton
need to win tonight.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Because it's not, you're managing expectations. People are like, Moyes didn't look happy yesterday.
No, he didn't look happy. He did not look happy.
He didn't look happy, and I don't know whether he's sending messages or anything, but he said it himself. I expected more players in.
He did, yeah.
Now, whether that's naivety on his side of whether he thought he could attract players, or whether the market hasn't kicked off. And we were talking about yesterday, we were saying, like, the problem with the market is, in my opinion. So number one, right, I've had loads of shit this week, by the way.
Have you?
From what I said on Radio Maze.
Oh, I saw.
Baz absolutely agrees with me.
What
Baz agrees with me, the rest of the world will say it's fine.
What have you said?
I said that we have to start paying what people want.
Yeah.
And you've had stick for that.
Getting stick,
grief about it.
I saw some this morning.
Like loads of grief about it. Because apparently paying what people want for players is mad, apparently. And we have to be dead clever. Well, we've tried to be dead clever, and it's got us absolutely nowhere. But what I'm not suggesting is by any means is overpaying for players. But if you don't pay what clubs want, how are you ever going to get players? That's what I was saying. So
how do you give clubs what they want without overpaying?
What do you mean?
Well, you have a valuation, I have a valuation.
If our valuation isn't their valuation, then we aren't signing them players. We have zero leverage. I don't know how people don't understand this. We have zero leverage. I know what you're saying about the stadium, but it isn't leverage.
No, it's not leverage.
It's not leverage. And we have to, if we want some players, we're going to have to go to these clubs and say, what do you want? Because at least then, they'll start putting pressure on that player to leave. Fofana, for instance, right? No Champions League clubs come in for him. They're looking at him going, yeah, he looks all right. We'll try and get him on the cheap. Right? If we want to get him, like we got Onana, we're going to have to pay the asking price. And then get it, and then go, but we'll make that back. And that's where I don't... That's
cool.
So that's the way I look at it anyway. It might be the right way to look at it. People go, oh, well, you do deals. Tell me where these deals are.
No, I think to clarify, someone like Fofana, if they're saying they want 35 million for him, and Everton are stuck at 31 or 32 and going, we're not paying any more, then if people are saying, yeah, that's what we should do, then stop cry-arsing about players then. Then go and get Josh Brown. You have to sometimes get the one over the line.
That forces the others.
The one, you've got to somehow do the deal. And if that is, it's not overpaying. Because if we got a valuation of Jared Brantwaite, right, of 70 million last summer, whatever it was, and United offered 38, and we all told them to fuck off. And if we'd have sold Jared Brantwaite for 65, people would have kicked off.
Yeah.
Right? So clubs will have a valuation.
Both clubs have a valuation,
exactly.
The buying and the selling.
If anyone's giving you stick for saying it's not overpaying, if a club has put 35 million on Fofana's head, and Everton have spent weeks trying to negotiate that down, and they're still at 35 million, and the manager's saying, I want them.
Just pay it.
Pay the money and
Sorry if you couldn't properly hear me then. I clicked the wrong mic thing. Sorry. So you sound like I was in it.
But you pay it.
No, but I'm not like, by the way, like, I'm not like, my head's not going on. I'm not like massively worried. I'm just sitting here going, if you're going to pay the money, if you want the talent, you're going to have to pay for it. This like thing of like, oh, we won't be done on all this. What a load of nonsense. Everton, for at least this summer, are going to have to pay some fees. That's the way I look at it anyway. That might be right. But Everton, I think...
Maybe it's terminology.
But it's not, John. What it is a load of fucking dickheads.
Stop swearing.
Online.
Stop swearing,
Stop swearing.
A lot of dickheads online thinking they're being clever, and it's not. It's Everton are going to have to pay for the players if they want them this summer, and that's it's as simple as that. And Moyes said it himself. They try to be clever, or someone's trying to be clever, lowballing people or whatever. And it's just.
I think people having opinions about stuff they don't know whether
It's
it's true or not.
It's just not going to work. If we were going to make clever signings, we would have made them by now.
Yeah.
So the disparity, by the way. So what I was going to say was the disparity also is in general, not just Everton, is football. The football clubs at the top are buying players for ridiculous amounts of money, and it ain't dripping down to us because when they're selling for 75 to 50 million as well. So I don't even know where the drip comes. I don't know where the drip effect comes. I can't see where the drip comes because there's no player that like Chelsea is selling or Liverpool are selling that's going to be below the 30 million range. So this idea of Everton being clever and getting shrewd signings, it ain't going to happen till like the last week or the last couple of weeks. Certainly till the Premier League kicks off, I think at least. So if we wanted the players in the door before pre-season or before coming here, then we had to pay for them. And we decided not to. So it's no surprise that we haven't got any players. We'll see what happens. I just hope we've got a strong team tonight. I think it does matter. It'd be interesting to see who we put out. And hopefully, hopefully.
A lot of grief you're getting is, I think, off the soundbite of just give the clubs what they want.
It
sounds like rash.
That's not really what you're saying.
No, it's paying what.
So that's why this is good.
And what makes me laugh is you're absolutely right, Baz. Last year, people tried to lowball us on Brandthwaite.
Yeah.
And people said, look how good we are, sticking to our guns. We know our valuation. The same with other teams like Palace when people come in for them. But when you go in and tie other people's players and you don't match what they want, then suddenly people think you're overpaying. No, clubs have values because they have maybe talent in, not saying once in a generation. That's a silly thing to say. But if you've got a talented player, you want what you think that player's worth. So why should it be any different? If for us, say with a Brandthwaite.
No, it's not.
It isn't, is it? It's
absolutely
ridiculous.
It's not.
So I apologise for swearing, but I'm up to my eyeballs with dickheads online, and I honestly, I just want to call you all a gang of dickheads who don't understand football, as far as I'm concerned.
The ones having a go at you.
Yeah, because if you
not
can't
the people watching.
No, not the people. The people watching this are all beautiful human beings. Beautiful human beings, except the ones who don't have purple bins, who live in the Liverpool area, especially Emma.
And James then, having a pop at James.
James hasn't got a bin. He's lower. He's a subspecies of that. No, it's just like, how can you sit here and think that Everton are going to buy? If you don't match the valuation, you aren't get players. Simple as that.
The thing about it is as well, is we're talking about one player, aren't we? Really.
If it is that one player.
If it's one player and Leon have put it out.
And if you're within 10% of what they want, give them it.
Then pay it. Don't go in for everyone and go, oh, you want 50, we'll give you 30, of course.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to do, it's not a statement signing because he isn't bleeding Kevin De Bruyne, is he, when he was amazing. But if you're trying to get that one that just keeps the thing ticking along.
It makes decisions easier for other players. Well, he's gone. You
sure
get
to
that.
go, right, what are we, a couple of million between two or three? Are we really going to lose a player for 2 or 3
Absolutely
million?
not.
Who the manager wants?
Absolutely
no.
not.
Do it. You can get that one deal done. And then your next one, there you go, we want 25 for him, and you go...
18.
19.
And that's the balance
and
they're
then
going to
you
do
go,
with the budget.
20, we're out. It's 20 or we're out. Right, we're out, we go to the next one.
Yeah.
We're not saying every single player,
No.
but someone like Fofana, who you know you're going to make your money back on, you know he's got the pace, he can do right and left, he's dribble, he can create things. You might have to pay what they want. Why should we be, just to finish, why should we be getting praised for holding our value on a player, but expect other teams to drop their value on their players?
I don't suppose we are. I think if negotiation is a real art, right?
Yeah.
So if we offer 50 and they want 55 and we say no and end up paying 48 because the market moves and it changes, right? So if you've got a player who definitely wants to join us, then that obviously makes it easier.
Of course, yeah.
But if he's sitting around going, no, I want to play in the Champions League, I want this. What Ped said a few minutes ago is absolutely it, which is now you need to have the club, his club, on your side to try and get him to make a decision. Because they're happy with the fee. If you've got the player waiting for Champions League and the club waiting for a better offer, then it will stall.
Well, let me react
It
to...
will
Can I just
stall.
say, but also though, like, what's interesting is Chelsea, Liverpool, City, they're paying all these fees for these players, and no one ever accuses them of overpaying when they're paying millions, like hundreds of, like, you know, playing. Liverpool have bought, like, they might end up with 3 players this summer who have cost them. I'm not being funny, right? This kid they've brought in that we could have had on loan. I mean, talk about overpaying. The lad's done nothing.
No.
Nothing. And yet,
16 million
it's
he went
been
for.
applauded like it's some kind of unbelievable, unbelievable signing that no one's... Oh, seeing videos of him put online of him scoring in training. I'm not being funny. I could get you a compilation of Michael Keane scoring goals in training that would look better than this kid. But they're applauded like they've done some... you found this kid from nowhere. It's like, we could have had him 18 months ago on loan. And it's just never like, oh... And yet, if Everton had gone in for them, for him, it would have been, oh my God, the money they're putting on this young lad, and the pressures of it, blah, blah, blah. And it's just so weird the way things are.
The risk profile's
changed. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like no one's gone, well, Liverpool should have bent and just offered
No, but the risk profile's
60. No, but it's not though, is it? What I'm talking about, it's not different.
It is.
It's not, John. If we paid the money that Liverpool have paid for that player, people would have been losing their heads over it.
Because it would have been a greater risk for us.
Yeah, but it's the
still
principle still. Newcastle were getting them for 70, Liverpool paid 95.
Yeah.
It's just.
Which is crazy.
Dave, the selling club have done amazingly out of it. Liverpool have got a good, and everyone's gone, it's a good deal for everybody. And that's where...
But Liverpool, in that example, I don't know why we're talking about that, but yeah, they put value on getting the deal done sooner. And that's what we're talking about, isn't it?
Yeah.
If we put the value of €5 million or whatever it is on getting the manager happy tomorrow,
Yeah.
it's worth it.
Yeah.
Because you say, and you're right, there's loads of deals we have to do yet, and we just tell the guy doing the negotiating, you've got to find that 5 back from somewhere else.
The two things, like Diva Vision says, you can't just pay what every club wants. Dibbling is definitely not worth his asking price. No, but we're not talking about that, are we? We're talking about one player.
We're talking about players.
We're talking
about players that have identified and have put a lot of effort in.
They're off priorities.
Yeah, they're our priorities.
Yeah.
And we're going after them, and we've spent a lot of time after them, and we've done a lot of due diligence to go after them, and then we're haggling over 3 or 4 million quid, and then missing out on players. That to me is like, I don't get that at all. Don't get me wrong, I'm not a business person. I don't negotiate for a living, but I find that absolutely crazy. When you have, it's not like we're someone buying a house where we can just move on to the next house, and we've got timers on our side. Time isn't on our side, and I'm not, by the way, I'm not like getting agitated by the situation. I'm not sitting here going, oh, I'm quite calm about the situation. These will attest to that. But I do find it mad when it's like, I'm looking at Moyes going, he's clearly not happy about the situation. He wanted...
And that's got to go into the equation about how much you're prepared to pay.
But also, if you're a manager and you're sitting in the press conference and you're telling everyone how difficult it is, isn't that just making the situation, and this is not having a go with Dave Moyes, isn't that making the situation in a negotiating term harder?
Yes.
We're trying to be honest. Jordan McKeown says, did we end up getting Barry for less? Well, we've ended up...
Getting Barry?
We've got Barry. We've got him for 27.5 million with add-ons that are very soft, that take it to exactly what Villarreal asked for, which was his escape clause. So basically, the minute he plays like 15 games or whatever it is, they get another pot. It'll get to exactly what they wanted very quickly. So, yeah, if Milik Fofana, Leon might want to do, Everton might have done the same. Everton might have gone, we'll give you 30 or 28.
A number.
And all of this will add up when he puts the training kit on. There's $1 million when he plays, and it adds up. But it depends, if they don't accept it, they don't accept it. And again, we're not Ted certainly isn't saying just pay what every club wants for
Yeah,
every
well, that's
player.
what we're trying to kill.
We're talking about one specific
transaction
area of a pitch where we've been unsuccessful.
And we're talking about a player who's basically saying, I don't want to sign for Everton.
Well, but he hasn't said that.
But you know what I mean.
But he's
like
not running to get here, is he?
He's waiting, isn't he? He's waiting, isn't he? And we can't sort of, because we're not willing to lean on Leon, then it's going to drag out, and that creates more frustration within the fan base.
No,
and that's what I'm saying. It's like, if we, I think where you look at like a Liverpool, even though they can offer these people the world, they still are willing to get very close and get the deals done very quickly because they can. So it's not a case of we're gonna negotiate, with you. It's like they'll just go, let's get the deal done. We want him in. We want this player in.
And if you win in 10%, then just do it.
Do it. Azar on a super chat, thank you very much, mate. Says, hello, fellas. Hope you're all good. Loving your videos in the States, lads. Hope we get a nice win later. Come on, you Blues. And I really hope we get Grealish in up the trophies. Well, that's it. Listen, the club are in a much better position than what we are, aren't they? To know exactly what's going on. But we're reading between the lines what we're hearing, listening to the manager. There's a big issue on that right hand side. Everton are trying to solve it, and if it does come down to 2 or 3 million between the valuations, pay it and get it in. Ped's right, Liverpool will do it, other teams will do it to just get them in, and you look and go, bloody hell, they've paid a lot there, but they've got the person in, haven't they? They've got the person in, and sometimes all your business can't be like that, obviously, because you do then fall back into where we've been, and we don't want to do that. So it's a tricky one, the art of negotiation.
Yeah,
tricky.
but the words that managers chosen to use, stall, which means you're chugging along and then you've stopped. That's normally an indictment of decision making. If this was a sales environment and I've gone off to sell something, my boss says you've got to sell it for 50 quid, right? And I go in the room to negotiate for it, and the other fella says 49 tops, and I have to ring my boss up to see if it's all right. That stalls the process. So it's got to be about empowerment as well, and the wriggle room around, give or take a certain amount, get the deal done at that. And when you come back and say, I got 52, they're dead happy. But if the priority is getting it done, and there is a value on that, and Ped's nailed it again. The manager's frustrated. We look light. A primary target apparently is so close but not done. So he wants it.
By the way, this is all down to timing, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
If Everton started a negotiation, in May, then we're talking about a completely different thing, aren't we? But we're sitting here and we're just about to go into August, and we're still short by the Moyes' valuation by 5 to 6 players.
6 players.
So the process is going to happen really, really quick.
Time's running out, as we said.
And at the end of the day, we're going to end up paying what these clubs want.
Well, we said it. No. You're right. In half an hour, we said, don't have that false economy of you won't cut the deal now when the pressure's on. Because that window closing is coming to you, you end up paying it anyway. But you've missed the 3 weeks of settling in, getting ready for the Premier League season, making the manager smile in press conferences, and all that sort of stuff, which all has value. And the rest of the squad saying, we're filling out. He's good, he's coming. We've sorted the right side out. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Listen, we're going to finish now, but this is something that runs and runs. We're not talking. Lots of clubs overpay for a player.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not even talking about overpay. A lot of clubs pay what the valuation is of that team. Doesn't mean you have to do for every player, and it means that you do have to juggle, and you have to pick and choose your losses if you like.
You do.
So go, well, we really need this in. Let's get that, but we're not budging on that one over there. We're not going higher than that. And maybe that's just where we are. And I've seen Liverpool overpay for players like Naby Keita in the past. I've seen Manchester United pay... well, whatever it was for Anthony.
You've got plenty of choice with
there's
them.
Loads. Everyone's done it. Arsenal have overpaid for certain players. Every one of them has done it to get the person in. So it's not like if Everton, and again, overpay is a weird phrase.
Yeah, that is a weird phrase because there's
no such
thing as a valuation.
You might say now, like 2 years after buying someone, going, he wasn't worth what we paid for him, was he?
If it's a hindsight thing, that's the only thing that's
the thing.
objective.
So, listen,
Was Onana worth £28 million when we bought him?
No.
But he is now because we got 60 for him.
And that's the mission, to catch the
it's-
guys. And we could have got him the year before for whatever it was, 10, 12, whatever it was, yeah.
Anyway, let's see. Everton are in action later, which is good. The footy, let's hope we can get a result against West Ham. Let's be honest, West Ham aren't great. Watched a bit of them the other day against United. United were all over them. They had chances, but United were all over them. We just got to make sure, hopefully, that we're nice and tight. We don't make any silly mistakes. I mean, Jacob Bryan was asked about it, and he basically said we made 3 mistakes with the goals, so don't make any mistakes today.
And score.
Yeah, and then
Can we score?
we've got to. I think I'm going for a win. 2-1.
2-1 you said last night,
Yeah,
didn't you?
2-1. I'm going for the Bab. The Bab effect. Another one. I've done Az's. Well, go on if you've got one. Or tell me if it is. It's only showing up as on mine.
Yeah, it's only one.
Let's not mix it. Let's not miss it.
Sam, is it? Says I'll be there tonight, bring raincoats.
Yeah.
Does that mean I've got to go and buy a raincoat?
It's gonna absolutely lash it down.
Is it?
I believe. Thunderstorms. So
I have to buy a raincoat then.
let's go for the Bab effect tonight. Beto and Barry. Why not? Why
you.
not? A bit of Bab. Well, hey. A bit of Bab. Right. Thank you, everybody who's joined us. Thank you, everyone who has liked, subscribed, do all that. And obviously, we'll catch you later.
Take care.